sick. I had to see my daughter. I was worried where she's at. Everything's going through my mind all at once. Venus at Spring Fest. Oh, this is what any possibility.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Migraine medicine. It's Ubrelvy. For any time, anywhere migraine strikes, without worrying if it's too late or where I am. One dose can quickly stop my migraine in its tracks within 2 hours.
Unlike older medicines, Ubrelvy is a pill that directly blocks CGRP protein, believed to be a cause of migraine. Do not take your strong CYP4 inhibitors. Most common side effects were nausea and tiredness. Ask about Ubrelvy and learn how AbbVie can help you save.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
We have digitally managed portfolios backed by over 150 years of financial experience. So, play games or have your money work smart. You can money.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
An actor in an ad. Just giving you 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
I am in bed, and I'm laying on my back, and my covers are up here, and I'm still not asleep. Who would you calling this later? I hear my mom answer, and I can hear my Aunt Jeannie screaming through the old landline phone. And she is screaming. It's just a horrible. There's nothing like that scream. Sad doesn't even cover it. I can hear her scream for this. All I knew was that she was dead and that she had been killed. And I didn't know anything else. When you're a kid, you're thinking, she's a good kid. If she can get killed with all that crap that I do, this guy's coming for me. I knew he was. That's what I felt. I felt that fear. And then slowly things started to transpire as to what happened. And that fear grew.
There's a knock on the door. My partner came in and told me that they had found Sherry's body. Detectives got a consent to search, and they started searching the cellar. One detective directed another to look under some paneling or floor, and that's when they found her body, which was wrapped in a blue blanket. He told Mr. Wales that Sherry's body had been located in his house. He had no reaction at first and just stared at us. And he stared at us for quite a while. The blank stare to me indicated that he was involved in a murder. He was was upstairs, I was downstairs. Two detectives came through the door, and one was the chief of police, the other was a friend of ours.
The look on their face. You knew it wasn't good. Wasn't good.
We talked to Jeannie and said, we gotta talk to you. And she said, well, we found her. And I said, is she dead? She said, yes, she's dead.
I honestly don't remember what day it was. I know I screamed. I think I fell to my knees.
Jeannie let out a scream, and I'll never forget. And she yelled at me, David, go kill that pepper.
A lot of that time was laughing right out. And I was thinking, I know she wasn't alive. There was no hope. That's when it was gone.
I wanted that man dead. And I wanted to get it one time. I never really wanted to get into the details of what he does. I don't want to know that. Just don't want to know how bad he does it.
I still blame myself, partially for letting her go by herself. Because if I had been there, it wouldn't happen. I treat her out all the time. And I'll start crying. I'll start crying. Just for that simple reason. That I should have done it. I think I can say this. I still feel the guilt. I'll always carry that.
That's fucking funny.
Oh, this was Sherry's school picture. 7th grade. This was the last school picture. I believe it was about 2 weeks before. That crooked little smile. Her father's got it too. They both have her. This is exactly how Sherry was. Always smiling. She's so proud of those earrings. She bugged her father for probably a year to get her ears pierced. She's got her earrings in, couldn't take them off. They were found in Wales' dresser drawer. And the police released me, and I would have been just the bottom ones. Oh dear. With the earrings in, I didn't feel close to her.
It was a very quiet room after we told him we found Sherry's body. And he just stared at it.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
He said that he came collecting at the front door and said that somehow get hold of the soul. I suspect that he either grabbed her and pulled her to the cellar door or asked her to come to see something. He said they fell down the stairs or into the cellar. He said Sherry was screaming. He put his hand over her mouth to prevent her from screaming. He hit her 2 or 3 times with what he said was a stick. The stick he was referring to was actually a paperweight. He said after that he raped her. He put a clothesline over her neck and hung her from a shoulder at that point. He put her in a big collar, wrapped her in a blue blanket, put a family on the top. I specifically recall, what'd you do that? And he said, well, we had dinner and the kids had to go up and finish cooking dinner. We did our job, and now it's back to the alley. He's waving the family. Can't bring his daughter back. What do you say to the father and the hardest thing is harder than that. Yeah, the hardest thing was for me. One thing that too, I could pass it off to my daughter. Yeah, it's true, the fuel record said, well, you need to go pick out one of the caskets. The children's caskets are over here. Who should be buried with 12 years old? Who should be doing that? She should be all happy. She should be in school for that. Why would you have to bury your own daughter? How could somebody do that to you? Who would have died? Who would have died in the fire? I told me, I gotta get out of here. I got the one you want. Whatever the next day was, you'll find me. So that's the same you don't touch her face because you don't touch her. I went up to them, see that little face. And I could see she had a crooked nose. And I knew the son of a bitch broke her nose. Just tortured her to that.
Just people and always full of surprises. But convenience is key. That's why we created smart locks, to make your day a little easier for everyone. With technology that gives virtual access to the people in your life. So when they arrive, we always have the door. And with your way, we'll make there. Key free with Yale Pocket Smart Locks.
You get the pro level leak protection you're looking for. Lowe's, parent like a pro. Remember the best flat 90 minutes of your life? Or that surprise party for your parents' wedding anniversary? You get the golden ring. The same way you manage detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive bust.
Hey, well, I have a good message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you drive, have the seatbelt open tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. But not in your hand, but take somebody's back. The plug is in your car might get snapped. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Added back to your social security check may now be available to you in your zip code. Make sure you're not missing out. It's simple. One, call the number on your screen. Two, they'll look up your zip code and see if you're eligible. Three, they'll check for blanks and extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that has money back to your social security check every single month. Call now. I deserve. I called to check my zip code for a plan with a benefit that adds money back to my social security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Millions of people have called the Medicare company hotline. Call, check your zip code, see if you're eligible, and get what you deserve. Call now.
Call 1-800-969-5791. That's 1-800-969-5791 now.
Home that. Look like me, kid.
You
Bring us along. Bring us along. Just go to the base station, wait for motion down, window system, here's the keypad. Connect the app, voila. Now have professional monitoring. It's that easy.
It's true. Ring has an award for more. Learn more at ring.com.
Travel to another one. Like the site got one of the private college. Is the music. Just at a moment. Gotta go.
I don't think I could put my son's school and do it.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutVaping.com. The day of the funeral, all this snow comes down. We got ready for the newspaper writes how this snowstorm was just God just weeping over this situation. Just remembering that funeral was just so sad. Damn it. And I was so in a little casket. There's something profound about a child's casket that you don't get over. And it's unbelievable. A look of despair and tragedy. I've never seen that before. Just my aunt was just weeping and weeping. I didn't even think she was going to be able to walk. She was so devastated. So devastated. It was so unfair. She just didn't deserve that. My uncle and I talk a lot. And one of the things that he said to me was, here I am out here protecting other people's kids, and I couldn't protect my own. He takes it personally, and he did nothing wrong. My uncle did nothing wrong.
Going to the cemetery. It's very hard. People were lined up against the street as we were by. You just lined up watching us go by. There was hundreds of cars, all kinds of places over there, from all over the state. I mean, it was just something to see. And all the people that turned out for that were very good to us, that very good. We made sure we bought a plaque. That she's in the middle and I'm on one side and he's on the other side, but they together.
My aunts could not watch what they knew had been done to her body. So there was no way anybody wanted her to see that. Because there was going to be images. My mother's going to be curious about this because she still doesn't know that I snuck in. I sat in the back of the courtroom. I still kept thinking, somehow this can't be true. I remember seeing the back with just his hair. That man was horrible. The boogeyman was the only thing that I could, that's the terminology we use. And in my mind, this guy was so horrific because he was able to take her life. And see, I'm sitting there thinking, how dare you? Why would you hurt her? I'm thinking, he's gonna do it. Ocean's light or something. But it's 33 boy. He'll spend every day with me. We'll be there every 2 years for the Olympics team. When Dave and I come around, he's still it's James Wales. Like he knows that. I did that picture home and remember I threw my mind away. Yeah, if you look in this view in person.
Tell us why.
Obviously, he does our thing. We still put us through to be alive. He deserves to die. New York State doesn't have the death penalty, but they should. Jeff should have been this. And I should have been the one that pulled the switch. Whatever happened, my emotion died. I was going to bring it up, but we got the jacket thing, but we got me away, and that's a baseball thing. I never told anyone that I was sneaking away at night. I was cemetery and stuff. I don't know there. We say, let my feelings out, nobody around, nobody was singing. I don't know what I'm doing for that. Start here. Just the readers really there. Sorry it had to happen for you. No, just a moment. You never forget it. By your person. I can't help myself anymore. I spoke to the man. You know, I really look up.
Every time I mention Terry's name, the dead one pops up. He was in the green world, even when he was stay bottled up is terrible. I mean, that's what Dave did. He shut right down. And I know that it's very easy for people to split. Most people that lose their kids end up divorcing and separating, whatever. I wouldn't even let Wales tear the family apart. You knew I had to do something. I wasn't about ready to give up.
Depends on what is very personal to me and to a lot of clean veterans out there. We need to invest here in clean energy. We need to move forward.
Clean energy is a lot more than just economics. It's about our fundamental national security.
Congress swore an oath to protect and defend. By not passing this clean energy legislation, they're not living up to that oath.
A clean energy future is fundamentally a safer America.
Check out this verbal. Look at me. Here I am. Right where I belong. It's all I've been looking for and so much more. And now I'm here. Now you're here. And go on as I am right where I belong. It's me.
You can bring from my brother anytime.
Where did you learn to slide like that?
I know where.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
No one likes cleaning toilets. So spend less time cleaning with Revolution 360, a cleaner, more powerful flush. Relax, we got this. Visit Kohler.com. Manhood looks different from God again. In a different direction, you might feel bothered by it. So talk to a urologist, because a bend in your erection might be Peyronie's disease, or PD. It's a condition that involves a buildup of scar tissue, but it's treatable. Xiaflex is the only FDA-approved non-surgical treatment for appropriate adult men with Peyronie's disease. Along with daily penile stretching and straightening exercises, Xiaflex has been proven to help gradually reduce the bend. Don't receive if the treatment area involves your urethra, or if you're allergic to any collagens or any of the ingredients. It may cause serious side effects, including penile fracture or other serious injury during erection, and severe allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Seek help if you have any of these symptoms. Do not have any sexual activity during and for at least 4 weeks after each treatment cycle. Sudden back pain reactions after treatment may occur. Tell your doctor if you have a bleeding condition or take blood thinners, as risk of bleeding or bruising at the treatment site is increased. Talk to a urologist about what your manhood could look like. Find a Xiaflex trained urologist at bentcarrot.com.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world, always connected, but somehow alone, trapped by illusion. We offer another path, where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling, united by the cause you fight for. No one can take away, nor inherit what it means to be among the few, the proud, the Marines.
In Los Angeles, the car is everything. This game is full. If you can't deliver, you're done.
Oh my God!
Welcome to the game.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible. She must...
Felt slumping. He wouldn't cry. He wouldn't show any emotion. I had to get him to cry. I had to get him to talk about her. So after the kids went to bed, I would get
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
and sit in the middle of the table, crawl for little pictures around it, hoping to break him so he would show some emotion. I knew him better than anybody ever knew him. And I just knew what buttons to push. Here she is right in front of you, Dave. Is this what she would want you to do? And I just kept repeating it night after night after night. Until finally, it hit him. He finally broke down. Me not giving up on him is what saves marriage. I guess he didn't realize it was going to take the burden off his shoulder until he finally faced it head on. And yes, we can get through this.
Now that's James Wales in the Air State Prison. He's done almost 37 years in jail. It's hard to say how that's affected him. If he were released, I would be worried there'd be a possibility that this could happen again. So the parole board asked Mr. Wales, New York State Parole, any thoughts, reflections you wish to share as we look back at this horrible tragedy, sir? During the course of the years, I thought all of the things that I robbed that girl of. She never got to graduate from high school, to have her father walk her down the aisle, or had kids. These are things I felt a lot of remorse for, and I take responsibility for everything that happened. So So the commissioner of the state parole asked James Wales why didn't you kill her? Why did you kill Sherry Lindsay? I'm not sure, ma'am. I personally don't believe that we'll ever really know the reason why James Wales chose to attack Sherry Lindsay on March 27th, 1984. The Lindsays are still grieving over this 37 and a half years later, and I don't blame them a bit.
Oh, there goes a bag I just threw. I thought I had more strength. It was three strikes, you're out. I loved every minute of that. That was Wales's house coming down finally after all these years. I wish I was a little stronger so my son wouldn't have had to knock down the door. I gave it a shot. People couldn't live in it because they kept saying there was ghosts. Everybody on the street called it Sherry's ghost house. I felt relief to know I wouldn't have to look at it anymore. We're going to put a memorial of some type in there with some flowers and maybe a couple benches. Sherry's favorite color was red. So I went out and I bought, I think it was 32 balloons, and I handed them out.
Guess what we want to do now is wife's idea. So she wants you to find a spot where the balloons will go up high as they can.
There was one balloon that came right in front, hovered over my chair, and then went across in front of Dave, and then it caught in a tree.
I kept asking her all through that time, can you let me know she's all right? Please, God, give me a sign she's all right. And then there's a little suspicious balloon flying around. Think of that balloon. Or just under there. Like it was her waiting for us. I believe there's angels out there. She's a big part of our family.
We were looking for her. It was very painful during that time. That search has stayed in my mind. It was a changing point for me. That day when there was nobody else around, and I even said it out loud, which was kind of unusual, but I did say it out loud that, Sherry, I'm gonna make sure this never happens to another kid. So I knew then law enforcement was my destiny. That's what I was gonna do. I became a cop because of this whole incident with Sherry. I knew this was what I had to help prevent. So I became a cop.
This room has been Sherry's room since she left us in 1984. I left the room exactly like this because I didn't want to let go of her. These are all her jeans that had to be ironed up with the crease in them. I wash these twice a year. I wash them in June and then December. And this is from her baseball that she loves so much. And we have all of her shoes over here with her roller skates. This is the way she had them. Everything had to be lined up exactly right. If I get lonesome, I'll come up and visit her. I just can't get rid of her. I mean, she's never gonna leave me, and this is how I keep her here. I can't get rid of her. That'll be the next generation to do.
It's my sister, my only sister. You don't think about bad things in a normal family. And unfortunately, he was everybody. I wanted him gone. I wanted him dead.
What did the police discover when they entered the apartment?
She was on her stomach covered in blood. It was a pretty chaotic scene.
She had been stabbed multiple times.
It was just a shock. You just wondered how anybody could do that to her.
The tenant was, not the person that they found in the room. Where is that person?
Why was a deceased female in this apartment?
That was going to be the key to solving the case.
I heard a noise in the hallway. I looked out my peephole and saw the guy pulling a shop vac out of the apartment.
He stayed in that hallway long enough for her to get a very good look at him.
Was that an image you'll never be able to get out of your mind?
I was very fearful. He knew where I lived. He knew who I was. I have never lived alone again.
Hi, I'm Paula Zahn, and tonight we're on the case in Athens, Georgia, around 75 miles from Atlanta. The city is best known as the home of the University of Georgia, whose students give the area the feel of a giant college town. But that vibrant, fun-loving atmosphere was darkened by a cloud of fear following a disturbing murder in an off-campus apartment complex. As police began their investigation, they struggled to piece together the evidence. In fact, even identifying the victim would prove a difficult task. August 21st, 2002. It was a steamy afternoon in Athens when the managers of a large apartment complex were asked to investigate an unusual issue.
They had received a complaint in regards to a foul odor. Knocking on the door, they did not get a response, and they made entry into the apartment using a key.
Inside, the managers discovered a gruesome scene. The body of a lifeless woman sprawled out on the floor.
The police department received a call from the apartment complex in regards to a deceased person in one of those units.
When first responder James Moss arrived, he immediately prepared for the worst.
I was outside when I met with the two people that called, and you could actually smell the odor.
These officers are very familiar with the smell of death.
Describe what you saw when you walked inside the apartment.
The layout was fairly simple. There was a kitchen immediately to your left, and as I came past the kitchen, I could see the body.
The victim was on the floor of the bedroom with a sheet covering her head. And as Officer Moss approached her, more details quickly came into focus. Based on the condition of the body, could you get any sense of how long she had been dead?
I would think she had been there probably 3 to 5 days.
Officer Moss observed a large amount of blood near the victim. He also noted blood spatter on the carpet, pillows, and walls. It led him to a chilling conclusion. The victim died during a brutal homicide.
At that point, I decided to just back out of the apartment, secure it, and call for detectives, call for forensics, and notified the coroner.
When homicide investigators entered the apartment, they began to weave the evidence Officer Moss had reported into a theory of the crime. Did the victim have any clothing on?
The victim was clothed with a pair of panties, and then there was some clothing that was pushed up around the head.
Every inch of the apartment was carefully studied. Could detectives find any signs of forced entry?
There were no signs of forced entry to the apartment.
But a rear sliding glass door was unlocked.
There was some belief that the perpetrator came through the glass door.
Based on the evidence, it seemed the victim was caught off guard, or was perhaps already asleep. Did it appear that she had been ambushed?
Yes, the bedroom was a pretty chaotic scene.
It appears that she fought with the attacker. She had numerous defensive wounds in her hands.
And those injuries told a terrifying story. Based on the severity of her wounds, was it pretty obvious to investigators that she had been killed with a knife?
Yes, she had been stabbed more than 20 times.
Was the murder weapon found?
Their murder weapon was not found.
Investigators were confident that amidst the chaos was a clue that would identify the killer. Describe to me some of the evidence that was collected from the scene.
There was a lot of DNA evidence, blood evidence, there was fingerprints, items that were knocked over.
But it was in the undisturbed kitchen that investigators found their most promising evidence.
There was blood that was collected from a newspaper.
The newspaper was found on the island as you walked through the kitchen. They felt that the person that committed this crime had left that blood.
Analysis of the size and shape of the blood drop added weight to that theory.
The shape made it look like a vertical drop straight down from wherever the blood came from. It appeared to be a droplet from a person exiting the room.
The newspaper was sent to the crime lab for testing, while detectives continued to put together other critical details about the crime. Was there any evidence of a robbery having been committed?
There was no evidence of a robbery. It did not look as though the apartment had been ransacked.
The location of the attack and the victim's state of undress pointed to other potential motives.
Was this a possible sexual assault? Was this some kind of domestic violence incident?
Police hoped that retracing the woman's last known movements would help answer those questions. But identifying the victim proved to be complicated.
They soon discovered the tenant was, not the person that they found in the room.
In fact, the apartment had been leased to an unmarried man. Who was the apartment leased to?
The apartment leaseholder was Charles Eden.
The first question was, where is that person?
Obviously, they wanted to find Charles. They wanted to find out why was a deceased female in his apartment.
Knocking is built on powerful research that proves that when kids learn with the characters they love, they're more engaged. So So that makes learning everything from math to literacy to science a real treat.
Did someone say treat?
Log in. Start your free trial today.
Verizon is going ultra with 5G ultra wideband in many more cities, so you can do more. Cindy, with up to 10 times faster speeds, she can download a movie in minutes or a song in seconds.
Yep.
Okay, now let's work offsite. Public Wi-Fi? No thanks. 5G ultra wideband is faster and safer, and so powerful that it's not just for phones. Hello 5G home and business internet. It's time to go ultra with Verizon, America's most reliable 5G network, so you can do more.
Enough with the calorie counting, carb cutting, diet fatigue, and stress. Just taking one bowl of release capsule with 3 balanced meals a day has been clinically proven to repair metabolism, optimize insulin levels, and balance performance that makes weight loss easy. And lose weight with your body, not against it.